Okay, so for that WebAssign question, number one about the siblings. Here's one version of it. Um, so they're saying, is there a difference between what is it? Numerous studies of correlation difference between IQ. Test to claim that on older, the average siblings have a higher IQ. So they're telling us to find the difference. This is a matched pairs or a paired difference test because maybe the families have something in common. So that's why they're matched. They match the older to the younger. So what we're doing interested in the difference, and we kind of know this is the paired difference test because they tell us mu sub d. Okay, but if we didn't know that, we know that these aren't independent samples, so we got to use that paired difference test. We don't know the population standard deviation, so, and we don't even know if it's normally distributed. So it's questionable whether we could use the any test with this, but they're telling us to, so we will. So we're going to do a one sample t-test, and since they're telling us HA or H1, we know mu sub d is equal to 0 as HO. Now, how do I run a one sample t-test? Well, that Rossman chance applet, you knew where I was going to point you here. You go one mean, and then we're going to paste some data because we get some data to use. Now, we don't want to just copy and paste the data that's in the problem because we got to be dealing with the differences. So I copied them and put them into Excel, and I noticed I went older minus younger, just like they said, take X minus Y. Okay, so I'm going to grab that data now and copy it and take it back into the Rossman chance applet. I'm going to clear what's in there. I'm going to click paste. Notice I did one mean because we're doing a one sample t-test basically. So I use the data. We're going to do a test of significance. We're trying to test that's a right tail test. So then we click calculate. There's the test statistic. There's the p-value. Let's go see if this is good enough for WebAssign. Most of the time it is. Sometimes it's looking for some more decimal places. So it says 2 decimal places, so it should take it. And I'm going to copy the p-value. And at the 5% level of significance, I'm going to reject HO because that's smaller. The p-value is smaller than 5%. And because we reject HO, let's see. H1 is the claim, saying it's greater than, and we said we reject that they're not the same. Yeah, so the data supports the claim. Let's see if I get this right. Data supports the claim that on average. Yeah, I think I'm right. Let's see if I get it right. Oh, I can't. I can do them all. All right. Well, I'm right then. All right. Now it might be here. Let me see if I can enter this. See what it gives me. Yeah, see now it took all that right. Okay. Sometimes the rounding doesn't work right. But the biggest problem on that last exam that I'm going to have you guys do, the biggest problem people do is they don't recognize these paired differences. They'll try to apply a 2 sample t-test to it, and that's not what we're doing. So you like this one. See those people that studied music and their SAT score and didn't study music got the SAT score. These are independent. They aren't the same people, right? So I mean, if they were the same people, they'd be equal amount. Okay, so that's a 2 sample t-test. In Rossman chance, you do 2 means, and we got data, so we'll clear the data out, and we could. I think I would do an intermediate step. I wouldn't paste this directly from WebAssign. Well, maybe let's see. Now, see, it's going to copy it. So you'd have to select this and copy it into a spreadsheet. Then just select those 2 columns. Okay, and of course, then this is about proportions, and that's a 2 proportion z-test. And here in Rossman chance, you do 2 proportions, and we don't know data, and you can type in the information they give you. Okay. Yeah, all these two sample tests are either t-tests or the proportion is the z-test. We're kind of done with the z distribution except for proportions. Okay, and then of course we use an applet, so it's easy. Okay, so hopefully this helps.